January was really the month for cowboy-themed shows, wasn't it? God, if only I got that cowboy hat. I really didn't know what to expect going into Bronco Billy. Knowing what I knew, that it was based on an 80s Western film starring Clint Eastwood that was being turned into a musical, I felt like it could either be really, really good or really bad. Thankfully, when I went in, and I realized just how much fun they were having with this show, it turned out that it was more on the positive side. So why? Why did I end up enjoying Bronco Billy? What did it do right? What could it improve? Let's find out. But if you haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Elliot. I talk about theatre. I am the most chaotic theatre person on the internet. I do reviews, I do discussions, I do video essays, and if any of that sounds interesting to you, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me, it helps out the channel. But let's dive into Bronco Billy. As I said in the last cowboy-themed review, yeehaw. I was actually surprised how different the Bronco Billy musical is to the film. Reading up on the basic plot synopsis, it really does feel like they have taken the basic gist of the original film, like some basic plot beats and the character names and the idea of them, and has just kind of run with those and made up its own idea of what Bronco Billy is now. The plot is fairly interesting. It actually flows quite well. It is about Bronco Billy, of course, a veteran-turned cowboy who is peddling a Western-themed show. However, it is not selling very well. This is when he meets candy heiress Antoinette, who is on the run from her evil stepmother who's trying to kill her to gain her dowry. Yes, I told you it's silly and it's camp. Pair team up and breathe new life into Bronco Billy's show as they journey to Hollywood. If that sounds silly and camp, it's because it is. And you know what? I think the fact that it just leans into the style is what makes it so fun. Is it subtle? No. Can you see plot beats coming from a mile away? Sure. Does it dive into some more cliche plot beats? Yes. But the fact of the matter is that they just lean into the style of this show so well that it just ends up feeling so fun, and it understands exactly what it is. It's a very easy breezy show to follow along with. And honestly, I feel like the characters are a big strength for this show. All of these people that you meet along the journey are really, really endearing. Especially Bronco Billy himself. He always comes across as like a really humble guy, and he's someone you really do find yourself rooting for. I think the stakes are always high in this story. There's always someone close onto Antoinette's tail. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Am I saying that wrong? Antoinette. Antoinette? And the slow burn relationship that's built up between her and Bronco Billy is really nice to see, as you start to see them kind of becoming more and more comfortable with each other. It's a nice little story. It's not the best written thing I've ever seen, but it's fun. It leans into what it needs to lean into. It's got some interesting drama. There's nice character conflicts here. But I think the show's biggest weakness, unfortunately, is its music. This show's score is very forgettable. I feel like this is partly due to the fact that there's way too many ballads here, especially for a show that is so fun and is so upbeat in a lot of its style. It feels really weird that a lot of the character moments are done through ballad. I think the style is nice, even though I would have liked a few more like Western inspired songs, especially when we're actually seeing the proper show be done. But on the whole, the sound of this show is fairly generic. I didn't really come out of this show singing any of the songs or really finding them that memorable. Even sitting down to review this show, I find myself struggling a little bit to remember some of the songs. There are highlights here. I really like the opening number, Ride With Us. A really lovely introduction to the dream of what this show could look like. Despite a heavy-handed serving of ballads, there is a couple that I do really enjoy, especially the Act 2 duet between Bronco Billy and Antoinette. And honestly, despite the lyrics of this song being very unsubtle, literally repeating the words, "I want to get all of my money," a lot. I actually quite like the villain song, but this might just be because Victoria Hamilton Ballot just performs it so over the top and perfectly for what it is that I'm here for it. But unfortunately, I find that if your music isn't memorable, your music isn't one of your strongest factors in the musical, that's going to reflect worse on a show more than a book not being as neat as it could be. I think this can be easily remedied by adding some more upbeat numbers in there and maybe refining some of those lyrics in places. And really defining the sound of this show that would go a long way. But I would like to speak for one moment about this set. I feel like most of this video is going to be me talking about this set, because when I went to see Rebecca at this theatre, you may have seen that review, and I was saying, it's a bit of a shame that, this theatre's so small, you can't really get a massive set in here. You can't have the fire at the end on the staircase, which is one of the most iconic moments in Rebecca because of the theatre that they're in. Bronco Billy has just proved me wrong on all of those points, because yes, you can get cool sets and fire into the Charing Cross. They do it. This is probably the best set that I have ever seen in this theatre. This is a hard theatre to get a set into, and they use every single square inch of stage that they can. And honestly, it puts to shame any other show that has been in this theatre. It's really smartly designed, and you can see how they've measured this stage to the centimeter. As the entire show is structured around this one big main piece of set, this bus that is on a revolve that rotates around, revealing different bits of the bus that they use to backdrop the show. It's really smart, and it allows for a really nice flow between scenes. Even when we find ourselves in locations beyond the actual Wild West show, it's a really swift and quick transition into something like Constance's apartment or a Hollywood studio for the latter part of the show. And literally, you can see how they have measured this in, because as this bus rotates, there is literally about that much room between the side wall of the theatre and the actual bus. They have made sure that they could use every single little bit of space that they could. And beyond that, there's so many lovely touches within the design and the staging of this show that really make you feel immersed into it. There's confetti cannons that go off. There's disco balls around the entire theatre. They put tinsel and tassels and decorations all along the seating up above. I don't know what they're called, the little balcony bits? I'm not sure, but they've put them there. And there's a lot of magic imbued into this show that is really, really clever. Unfortunately, at the performance that I saw, a lot of this magic did go wrong. I have been told that it's gone smoother in other performances, so it's a bit of a sad thing that a lot of these went wrong, and a lot of the magic was kind of shown a little bit too heavy-handedly at the performance that I saw, but I won't judge the show too hard on that. Look, I'm sure the production team are punching themselves more than I am at a prop going wrong. It's live theatre. Sometimes things happen like that. I think the fact that the show fits in so much into this tiny space, fits in all of these little magic tricks, has thought about every little thing, really elevates this show. Amy Jane Cook has done a fantastic job on this scenic design and deserves a massive round of applause. But mentioning Rebecca, there is a scene in the show where, yes, there is live fire. Rebecca, I would like a word, please. Rebecca, now you have no excuse. You can't tell me you couldn't get live fire into this theatre, because Bronco Billy does it every night. What's your excuse now? But if we're talking about what really brings this show together, I think it is this cast. Because I feel like without a strong cast you can really attach to, this musical wouldn't have been able to really sell itself to me as much as it has. I think how easy it is to fall in love with these characters is partly down to these amazing performances. Taryn Calendar was a perfect choice to play Bronco Billy. He immediately comes off as such a lovely guy, so humble, so caring, someone who you really want on your side. From his really warm smile and the way he speaks to every person that he meets, it's so clear that this character just cares deeply about people. He's such a lovable protagonist, and the more you learn about him and the more you get involved into his backstory, the more he becomes an easy character to fall in love with. Emily Benjamin is just phenomenal, isn't she? Oh my god, what a talent. Just such a wonderful portrayal of this character. I think she really sells the grief of her character. She's just had this big loss in her life, and she's thrown into all of these wild situations that she gives some fantastic reactions to. But I think it's vocally where Emily Benjamin shines. Her first ballad is so beautiful, so touching. And then there's the rare moments where she gets a really rocky number. Like Tomorrow Starts Today, where they crack out that electric guitar, and oh my god, stunning vocals, stunning. But if anyone in this cast understands the assignment completely and just takes over the entire thing, it is Victoria Hamilton Barrett as the stepmother, Constance. I know for a fact that she was not the only person on the stage in her scenes, but my god did it feel like it. We know that Victoria is no stranger to the wicked stepmother role. See Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cinderella. And what she had there, she has taken it and times it by 10. When I tell you that I was scream laughing every time she was on that stage, I mean it. She is a master at taking a moment and stretching it with her over-the-top expressions and just a physicality that leans completely into the bit. Honestly, every single time she stepped onto that stage, I knew I was in for a treat. If you want a fun night, go see Bronco Billy and go see Victoria Hamilton Barrett, because she just sells every single second she is on that stage. She plays with all of that material like it's putty in her hands. She gets the biggest laughs, she gets the funniest moments, and she plays it all so unseriously. It's perfection. I'm going to dub the rest of like the team, like the Bronco Billy teammates, as like the family, because I think essentially this is what this show is about. It's about found family. It's about the connections that you make and the friendships that you have, and the real Bronco Billy was the friends that we made along the way. The family get a lot less to do, but are really fun. I think there's some really sweet moments, especially from Helen K. Wint as Lorraine, who becomes a strong confidant for Antoinette. Josh Butler is really lovable as the naive Lasso Leonard, who is hinted at in one scene of being gay, and then they just never bring it up again. Probably because the fact that 5 seconds later they kill the other guy that he was trying to kiss. So, you know, that's a big example of bury your gays, but okay. And honestly, I'm really impressed at the lasso skills, knowing that this was something that Butler learnt for this show. Very impressive. We love to see it. Karen Mavan-Jacure has this really lovely motherly vibe to the rest of the squad. I feel like saying the word, like, family just makes me feel like Vin Diesel. I don't know. Henry Maillard is like perfectly deadpan, despite having some of the funniest outfits in this entire show. Like, the second he comes out in his final outfit, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's goddamn hilarious watching this really like straight man and this really deadpan dialogue come out of this guy wearing his outfit. Beautiful. And Aaron Rayner's really lovely in this show, having some great chemistry with Helen K. Wint's character. I do wish they had a little bit more to do, a few more moments to really shine. I mean, as I asked for some more upbeat numbers, it would be nice if some of these were given to these side characters to be able to give them a moment to truly shine, and to show how much they've changed and grown since Antoinette joined the company. I think Bronco Billy is well worth a watch. Is it the most perfect show in the world? No, but what it lacks in its music, it more than makes up for with this fantastic cast, the comedy, and just how much fun it is. Sometimes you want to go see a silly Western show like Bronco Billy. It's a show that I can see myself going back to time and time again and just having more and more fun with it every single time. But what do you think? Have you seen Bronco Billy? What do you think? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me out, helps the channel. Here's some links to my videos on screen right now, and a link to my Instagram if you want to drop me a follow over there. But that's it for me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!